What is that stabbing pain in my gut? Is it just me, or are these jeans suddenly 3 sizes too small? Will anyone notice if I undo the top button? Why am I burping so much? Ugh, I don't feel so good. Oh no. When you're celiac or have a gluten intolerance, no matter how careful you are, there will probably come a time when you will get glutened. Glutened. Verb, past tense. When a person with celiac disease or a gluten intolerance consumes food with enough gluten to make them ill.
Oh no!
Whether you forgot to read a label, there's a slip up at a restaurant, cross-contamination, or somebody else accidentally serves it to you, it's bound to happen at one time or another. And it sucks. Let me start this off by saying that people will have different responses when ingesting gluten. My response is fairly extreme because I have celiac disease, so I'm going to talk from my experience. There are 2 levels of glutening. 1, full-on glutened, and 2, cross-contamination, also known as cross-contam.
Stop trying to make cross-contam happen. It'll never happen.
Full-on glutened is when you accidentally eat a whole burger bun, a plate of pasta, a sandwich. You thought it was gluten-free, but it turned out to be pure gluten hell. Apart from a server telling you they made a mistake, or your boyfriend suddenly realizing that he'd served you a veggie burger that contained regular breadcrumbs, most of the time you won't know that you've consumed gluten until it's too late. There are, however, a few signs you can look out for. Nausea with increasing severity, excessive burping, and abdominal pain. If you feel any of these, first things first. Are you in public? Are you surrounded by people? Are you sitting across from your date? Are you sitting in your rental car that you have to return in 20 minutes? If so, remove yourself from the situation because it's not going to be pretty. For me, when I'm full on glutened, I have 90 minutes from the time that I eat something to when I will toss my cookies. I'm not kidding, 90 minutes on the dot. It comes back with a vengeance. Well, at least the 3 times it's happened to me, twice in public. To paraphrase Shakespeare, get thee to a bathroom. Cross-contamination, or cross-contam, it'll catch on,
No, it won't.
is the 2nd level of glutening. For me, the aftermath of a full-on glutening is very obvious. Cross-contam is much sneakier. I'll be going about my business thinking that everything I ate was just fine, and then a couple of hours later, I'll start getting bloated. Really bloated. Accompanied by jabbing pains in my gut. Fun times. So, you've been glutened. What do you do now? Unfortunately, there isn't much you can do. You just have to wait it out. While you wait, here are some of the things that I like to do to help ease my discomfort. Side note, I am not a medical professional and this is not medical advice. Rest. The most important thing you need to do after you get glutened is rest. Put on some loose, comfy clothes, grab a pillow and a blanket, and rest until you feel better. If you're celiac, getting glutened means that you've triggered the autoimmune response in your body, which means that your gut is likely damaged. The only way to heal is to sleep and rest and give it time. Drink. Drink plenty of water. If your body has decided to clear itself out, you'll need to replenish those liquids. I also find that drinking tea, like green teas or herbal teas, especially ginger and peppermint, help my stomach feel better. Eat something when you feel up to it. You'll want to stick to bland foods for a little while, like broth, rice, pasta, potatoes. This is your excuse to eat all the carbs. Honestly, that's probably all you'd want to eat anyway. Avoid any foods that may upset your stomach. Things like dairy, coffee, chocolate, alcohol, all the fun stuff. And personally, I also steer clear of legumes and raw vegetables. Ease your pain. If you're having gut pain, there's no magic pill that can make it go away, but I do find that heat can help. My go-to is a magic bag, though you could also use a hot water bottle. I also find that lying in child's pose helps to alleviate pain in my gut. You could also lie on your back with your knees into your chest. Sometimes they call that wind relieving pose. Basically, anything where you have your knees pulled into your chest is going to feel good on your gut. Take a probiotic. Probiotics can help to restore your healthy gut bacteria in the aftermath of agglutening. I normally like to choose a strain that has 5 to 10 billion active cells, one of those critical care strains. Some people suggest taking supplements such as L-glutamine, enzymes, or activated charcoal, but unfortunately there's no concrete evidence that these have any effect. You may notice a difference in your mental state after being glutened. This is the dreaded brain fog. Symptoms of brain fog may include memory problems, lack of mental clarity, poor concentration, and inability to focus. In other words, you may not be as sharp as you were before, but don't worry, it'll pass. All in all, you may feel off for several days, and depending on the amount of gluten you consumed, it may take up to 2 weeks to heal. After you've healed. Now that you're feeling better, it's time to take a look at how you got glutened so you can avoid making those mistakes in the future. The 3 times I was full-on glutened were when I had a gluten-free afternoon tea in Scotland. My sandwich looked suspiciously like my boyfriend's. When my boyfriend mistakenly gave me a gluten-filled veggie burger that was sitting at the back of the freezer, not labeled.
Sorry.
And when my go-to restaurant served me a regular burger bun. Normally they're very careful. Here are a few good reminders to help you avoid agglutening in the future. Read every label, especially if you're pretty sure it's gluten-free. Avoid may contain items which may be contaminated. When someone else is serving you, ask them to check the labels. It's not annoying if you're polite about it. If you share a household with gluten eaters, make sure items are labeled to avoid confusion. Always let a restaurant know that you have celiac disease or gluten intolerance, and always double check that the meal is actually gluten-free before you dig in. If you want more tips on how to avoid these mistakes, check out my guide for how to safely eat at restaurants or my top 7 tips for how to transition to a gluten-free life. Or both. Have you been glutened? Have you suffered from cross-contam? Let me know in the comments below. And while you're there, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit the thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Herbal teas like pepper and ginger mint help my stomach feel better.
He said pepper or ginger mint.
Did I really? Ginger mint? I mean, hey, it sounds good. Is that really what I said?
Yes.
Herbal teas like pepper. Oh my God.